Okay, the watch list for Tuesday at GreatStockPicks.com for our live trading chat room. LGF is one of them. We have several stocks that we're going to watch for bounces. LGF has been really strong, and now you've got 5 days down in a row. It did get through the 50-day, but sometimes we pierce a moving average and then go right back up through it. And you also have some nice consolidation, some nice support right there. If I draw it out to the right, you can see we're down to some support. So LGF, potential bounce play for Tuesday. FIVE is a thinner stock, down to the 20-day here. I mean, after this huge gap up, now it's 4 days down in a row. This is, decent potential for a bounce, but it's real thin. I don't love the way this thing trades. You had a high back here that if you draw it over to the right, another high here. So certainly be leaning more for a long than a short at this point on Tuesday. ARO, after this gap up, it's about 5 days down in a row. Kind of gave a nice intraday spike. We got a little trade off this spike here today in the chat room. Anyway, this is worth, it was on Bounce Watch today, and it'll be on Bounce Watch again for Tuesday. CVS, down to this $58 area. Went below it here, but back here it was resistance in this area. Just a lot of stuff to the left on this chart. And because we're down 4 days in a row, again, I'm leaning for a day trade as a potential long on Tuesday. SCTY, nice volume pop here, and you know what? It's just the last 2 days. It's right back down to this little flag pattern. So it's got, if you go to like 15-minute candles, it's got a lot of support in this area to the left. Now, some people might look at that and say, well, you can see all the trading that it's done in this area, and so we're in that area now. A couple days down, hasn't broken its early high the last couple days. Whoops, let me go back to the daily here. So after this 2-day push down back to support, it's at the 8-day again. This is one I'm going to watch for a bounce. Now, what I like to see on a bounce, and you don't always get what you want in the market, but I'd like to see a narrow range for a while, and preferably a narrow range for the day, and then in the afternoon, a high of day break. In that scenario, on a stock like SCTY, you can get a really nice move. So what I do is I just have certain stocks that I like on one of my monitors. I've got several charts just populated with certain daily charts that are interesting, and that way it's pretty easy to see if it's going to break its early high in the afternoon, and we can be right there ready to trade it. TIBX, after the gap up, a couple red days, could be ready to turn back up here. And then TTWO, you kind of have to squint to see this one, but it gapped up here 3 days down in a row, a little bit. It's got nice support at 17 now. This is a name due to Grand Theft Auto that what did it, first day they did 800 million in sales. I'm sure they're over $1 billion now. And I have a teenage son too, so everybody and their mother's talking about this game. Maybe that's why I'm interested in this, maybe more than the actual chart. But you are, since the numbers came out, 3 days down in a row. This is a name that if we can break above, and you can kind of see a trend line here, if we can break above, and it sort of did that today, break above its early high in the afternoon, this could give a nice pop. I actually have this on long watch over the 1740 area because of that trend line break I just showed you, and if you get over 1740, you've got catalyst to the left, which would be a break of Monday's high, 1749, and then the day before that had a high of 1774 and so on. So there's not a lot in the way if this can get going to the upside. And my initial entry will probably be, assuming, let's just assume it opens tomorrow somewhere around where it closed, I'll probably try some of this over 1740. So that's the way I'm looking to play TTWO. Now, if it gaps up or gaps down, then in the chat room we have to change our strategies and look at it a whole different way. So it's very hard to make a video the day before and say, hey, here's where I want to go long, because it really depends on the overall market. Anyway, that's my list that I'm starting with. We will add gappers in the morning and high volume stocks that that show unusual volume in the first half hour as well for our chat room, and find some ideas that way as well. But this is the starting list for Tuesday. I'll quit babbling. Talk to you tomorrow night.